Cowboy fans and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. I make these videos for me and you. And they're a little therapeutic, you know. We finally hit D-Day. The last day in about 2.5 hours Eastern time to sign franchise tags. And it's looking more and more likely that Dak Prescott will not be extended this year. And frankly, you know what? As I look back in the history of the Cowboys, there's something that has struck out at me last night that I don't know if it's true. I don't know if I'm just making it up and just seeing things my way. But since Jerry Jones has owned the Dallas Cowboys, who are the only names in Cowboys lore that he has actually done well with at quarterback? You can only name 3 that he has done well. Troy Aikman, Tony Romo, and Dak Prescott. Now, out of those 3 names, who was actually drafted or intended to be drafted as your starting quarterback? Troy Aikman. And who was really the guy who drafted him? Not Jerry Jones. It was Jimmy Johnson. So that tells me in the whole ownership of Jerry Jones' era, he has never drafted and developed a quarterback that he has done. Not somebody else has stepped into, but he has done. Jimmy Johnson drafted Troy Aikman. They didn't even draft Tony Romo. And Dak Prescott was just a fluke. That just happened. That wasn't even their idea. That was just some wayward dude to just sit on the fucking practice squad that was never supposed to see any kind of playing time. Because they had Tony Romo, they had Kellen Moore. You know, this guy was just supposed to take snaps away from them in training camp. He wasn't even supposed to be their starter. So, in my mind, it's telling me that this might actually be a sign that the Dallas Cowboys are stupider than fucking anything. They're morons. They got a starting caliber quarterback that they've blew smoke up his ass for the last 4 years. And now they're telling us that you are so good we can't even pay you. Because if we pay you, we can't build a team around you. Really? Because you didn't use that excuse for Tony Romo when you had money, but you're always in cap hell because you tried to put a random ass team around them. But guess what? You couldn't draft to save your lives back then. That's why you kept spending all this money on free agents that never panned out. Now that you had Jason Garrett for a little while, it took a while to start actually turning the fucking team around. And then when you started drafting well, the guy that is now had you draft well has stymied you in the free agent market. So now you're trying to fill it full of nobodies and draft picks who never really panned out. So, in your ownership, Jerry Jones, GM, you have not put a quality team on the field at one time. You have not put all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams, on the field at one time in your fucking tenure. The only times it was any good, Jimmy Johnson. And that's because he was running shit more than Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones just signed the checks. This is why I think the divorce happened. Because Jimmy Johnson knew what the hell was going on with player personnel. But Jerry Jones wanted to act like it was all his idea. So he got rid of him. And what has happened ever since he got rid of him? He tried to ride out Jimmy Johnson's team until they were done. And once they were done, he has never been able to replicate what they had. You've had shots on offense, but then your defenses have sucked. If your defenses have played decent, your offenses have sucked. And then most of the time, you've never had a good special teams unit. When you actually had players who could play special teams, you let them go in free agency. So, to put it frankly, I think Dak Prescott will not be paid. He will play the season out on the franchise tag. They're going to dick him around again next year, put him on the franchise tag again, because let's face it, if he wanted 4 years this year, why the fuck would he take 4 years next year? Because then that would be the 5 years they wanted him on originally. And then, as a business person, you're like, well, what the fuck? I don't want 4 years now that you wasted one of those years. Now I want a Deshaun Watson 3-year deal. But you're going to dick me around on that one. Because you just, for some fucking reason, want to keep me locked in forever, but you never want to give me options. You want to control everything. No, that's not how this works. As an intelligent player and agent, you are not trying to get locked in long term with the team being the only one who can call your rights, move your money around and everything. You want to control your destiny, and that's what he tried to do with the 4-year deal. So when the big money comes in with the TV deals, he can cash in on that one. But the Cowboys are like, nah, we don't want you to get that kind of control. We want to hold you after the big money TV rights come in, so then we could jerk you around and sell you off for less money after the fact. When you're already sitting there saying, well, what the fuck? I just wasted 5 years of my life with you clowns and may or may not have anything to show for it. And now you wasted my prime years, and now I got to go back on the market when you dick me around. Because with the money, if it wasn't for Mike McCarthy coming in, you more than likely would never going to see any kind of fucking change around with the roster. Because they've always said they devalued defensive tackle, they devalued safety all these years. You finally get rid of Jason Garrett and his badass philosophies. So now you're saying that Dak can't have money because you want to put a team around him. What the fuck have you been doing for 4 years? You have not put a team around him? Whose fault is that? That's not Dak's fault. So don't call him fucking greedy when you guys are the pity pitchers. Goddamn Cowboys, y'all just trying to fucking burn people at both ends and then just blow smoke up their ass the whole time they're there. But then when they're gone, oh, he was a greedy motherfucker. Well, how am I greedy when I'm trying to get paid what I'm owed? And then these reports about 30 or 33 to 35, which isn't the numbers he was looking for, and 100 million guaranteed, which is still less than Jared Goff. You're dicking them around in the numbers again. At least that's the report. We don't know what's true or not. But if that's what it is, that's insulting and that's embarrassing, Cowboys. If you'd have came up with those numbers 2 years ago, before Wentz and Goff got their contracts, you'd have been sitting pretty. But you dicked around and you let everybody and their mama get paid before him, and now you're sitting stupid trying to figure out, well, how do we keep him happy? You can't. You fucked it up. Unless you get a deal done by 4 o'clock today, if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm like, well, fuck this team. I wanted to be a Cowboy for life, but obviously you don't value me enough. I sit here and put my life on the line and everything, and you put me out here for a couple games with a bad shoulder because the fucking backup situation behind me sucked ass. So I had to go out here and fucking try to put up wins. But then when I don't win, y'all want to sit up here and fucking say it's my fault. And then say you can't pay me to put a team around me when you finally owe me my money. Fuck you. As a player, I'm taking my talent somewhere else. I'll play this fucking franchise tag out, and then maybe Tom Brady will retire and I'll go to Tampa Bay. And they'll pay me my money. Because other teams are going to value me. Obviously, you don't. Maybe you waiting for Sunshine to come get drafted next year or something, Lawrence, or something. I don't know. I really don't know what the fuck the Cowboys are thinking if they don't get a deal done. Because you've jerked around for 2 years, always have an excuse. You're telling him to go out and prove himself, and he does just that. And I think y'all actually made him fucking hand the ball off at the end of the year last year so he doesn't break Tony Romo's record. That's what I think. He came so close that at the end of the game, all he needed was like a yard, 2 yards, and y'all wouldn't even let him throw the ball. Y'all just handed the fucking ball off. Like, wow. You spent all game throwing the fucking ball, and then you want to start handing it off when the record's up? Funny how that works, huh? Sorry if it sounds like a rant, but it's a motherfucking rant. Because I'm starting to see that the Cowboys are doing people dirty. You paid every other motherfucker last year the money, and y'all jerked around with Dak. Y'all didn't sign and pay Amari Cooper when y'all had the chance at a lower number. Y'all dicked him around for another year. And then you finally put buku money out for him. And now, oh, we still don't have any cash for you. You let Byron Jones walk, and everybody say, well, shit, you could have paid for Byron Jones, but guess what? You didn't pay your quarterback. Maybe if you paid your quarterback, you'd have had money for Byron Jones. I don't know. I really don't know what's going on in their heads. It just, how do you apparently not have money to pay your so-called franchise quarterback, but the goddamn Kansas City Chiefs are throwing almost $600 million out there for 2 guys. 2 guys in the last 2 weeks. If, guarantees and they play out all their bonuses and everything, $600 million to 2 guys. Of course, the deals are a whole lot more stretched out, but still, how they gonna do it when apparently they have no money and the so-called salary cap is gonna be lower next year? They somehow manipulated numbers and got it done. But Dallas, you're the most expensive franchise in the fucking world, but we're broke. We ain't got no money. Well, where the fuck does the money go? I know, it's going to players that ain't proved shit, or they had so many years still on their deal they didn't need to get paid early. But then when your quarterback comes up, you ain't got it. You think he's boo-boo the fool and gonna take less than what he thinks he deserves. How does every quarterback seem to set the fucking market when they ain't proved shit? Right, Tannehill got more money, and this motherfucker only played for half a season, and then it was Derrick Henry that was actually doing all the fucking work. He did nothing. Ryan Tannehill did nothing. He was a bust in Miami, goes to Tennessee, and replaces a guy who was an even worse bust, and then lets his running back run over the competition, and he gets paid for it. Did the running back get paid for it? No. See, that's the wisdom that y'all tried to put on the Cowboys, that Zeke Elliott was the engine that ran the team. Well, you paid Zeke like he ran the team, but then you didn't freaking, when you start emphasizing the quarterback, now you ain't got the money to pay him. Titans, they said, well, our quarterback did nothing, but we're going to pay him out the ass. Our running back did all the work, but we're not going to pay him. So somebody is ass backwards in this. When you say you could pay any running back to do anything that anybody can do, apparently, which I doubt, and it's been proven that that's untrue, it's a lie. It just doesn't make sense. The financials don't make sense. The way the Cowboys are running these things out to the last second don't never make sense. I mean, you got Zeke in at the last minute to go a week into training camp before the season started. You got Tank Lawrence signed only because he had to have surgery and he refused to play until he got paid or get the surgery done. You waited till the last second to sign Dez Bryant, and then he goes out and has a subpar season and gets hurt and whatnot because he wasn't ready. So we're just not understanding why the dicking around of your franchise quarterback, your so-called franchise quarterback. Maybe what everybody has been saying is true. Y'all just don't believe in Dak Prescott as your quarterback. The motherfucker has done everything he's supposed to do, but y'all just don't seem to believe in him behind closed doors. You can say whatever you want in front of the media, but what your actions are showing is that you don't care. could be wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong and something will come up in the last minute. But until then, I'm sticking my foot down saying y'all fucking it up. And this will be one of the biggest mistakes you're going to have in the rest of your existence. That you had a quarterback that you could have made a run with and you decided to dick him over after the quarterback you so fondly had like another son. You dicked him around by not putting the team around him. And you say that was one of your worst mistakes by not putting the team around him. When you have an actual team around the quarterback that can do something, you want to get rid of the quarterback. Like, it's just so hypocritical of these Cowboys. I don't know. But that's how I feel about it right now. In a nutshell. D-Day is here. It is about 2 hours and 20 minutes until 2 hours and 19 minutes till franchise deadline. Now if they don't get him into the building, sign it, send the copy off to the NFL offices, this ain't happening. Plain and simple. We're going to be on the franchise tag. We're going to be sitting here talking about it all year. Every time he does well, they're going to say, why didn't they pay him? If he does bad, they're going to say, this is why you didn't pay him. And it's just going to be one of the biggest distractions the Cowboys are going to have all season, if there's a whole season. And they only did it to themselves. So whenever a camera's in your face and they're asking you the same old monotonous questions, don't be surprised if Mike McCarthy turns into Bill Belichick. We're going on to Washington. We're going on to Philadelphia. We're going on to Baltimore. You know? Because they're not going to want to keep answering the question. You're putting it hard on him. You're putting it hard on his teammates. Everybody's going to have to answer for this, except for the two guys who are supposedly supposed to have made this happen already. So, that's it. That's my opinion in a nutshell. After this, there's probably not going to be a video from me until so-called training camp starts, unless there's some breaking news in between. This was a long time coming for the D-Day, and it looks like the Cowboys are going to botch it up again. All right, that's my opinion. I hope you share yours. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and enjoy your day. Stay safe. Happy Hump Day. VA Dallas Cowboy fan. Out.